For those who don't know what it is that we're speaking of right now, we're talking about CRIS, which is an acronym for Court Registry Investment System. It has this is right off of their website, and it shows cash in goes through the court. It's deposited into the Treasury. It goes right into the Federal Reserve Bank. It comes right out through the court. It's dispersed. It's cash out. There's like $8 billion or $8 million in each courtroom, each court. I counted on one court case. So our actual court case is on here. I counted 80 entries on one court case, all the same date, all the same amount, but it fluctuates, and it's entered 80 times. That's 80 securities investments. These are minors' cases. They're even trafficking children, folks. So all of your spousal support and all of your child support, they're racketeering your children through the courts. There's about 10 pages in here just on minors' cases information. If you type in Court Registry Investment Systems and the acronym is CRIS, it goes right through the Federal Reserve Bank. It proves that the Federal Reserve Bank is set up specifically to rip us off as the headquarters for the courts. What they do is they being the court clerks, they assign a public debt number on your court case in order to obtain the QSIP number. And then it is invested, it goes all the way to the Federal Reserve through your public debt, which goes through the IRS. So the IRS, the Federal Reserve, and the U.S. Treasury, Larry Moe and Curley of the fraud syndrome. It's right there. This points it right out. It is not disputable. It shows each district has its own number. I've not had the time to go in. I've been emailing this out for 12 hours today without getting out of my chair, except just now to get a glass of wine. But other than that, this is a crucifixion waiting for them just to be burned on it. Well, the mere fact that they don't have jurisdiction pursuant to the 11th Amendment in law, equity, and or controversy and or treaty, but they're bringing you in there. And the way I wrote this letter, before I sent this attachment out, all I wrote was, Dear Sirs, et al., which means and all others. Attached is a newly discovered document showing fraud committed against American people through the American Bar Association, all courts, the Federal Reserve, and American Banking Association. Upon viewing this document, all will see how securities are crafted and invested by, through judges, attorneys, the courts, through the Federal Reserve, then invested overseas into other countries, knowingly or unknowingly, purchasing defrauded Americans as extorted, prostituted human trafficking, bought and sold through the American Bar Association as commodities through the Federal Reserve Bank, U.S. Treasury, and the Internal Revenue Service. These files are sent worldwide to show the world that thousands of Americans have just discovered a huge scandalous fraud against America, and every single judge and attorney knows this to be true. Signed, a victim of racketeering enterprise. My name with my phone number and address. If they want to rock and roll with this, give me a buzz.
Okay, in this, at the ending document, ending balance, this is just one court. I misquoted the number here, but that's fine. But ending balance is $8,722,362.29 for ending balance.
On this document, page 66, Rod, the ending balance is $499,096,314.77.
That's on another page, but just one page that we're looking at. And it has interest here of $1,815,982.58 just in interest.
Now, what period does that cover? That's only for what? How much of a time?
Well, let's go back in. Look at the beginning of this sucker.
I believe it's for a week.
The amount that I just read off, Harvey, was for 951 cases. It does not give the name of the court, probably to protect the guilty, but it does have the district number, which I will say to incriminate the guilty, which is the letter D as in dumbass, 10COX.
This is for 1 month.
The Federal Reserve, the U.S. Treasury, and the IRS can you guys even see the Wizard of Oz with the yellow brick road with the Tin Man, the lion, and the straw man walking down the street? They're going to be running to that poppy field. Now you guys know why they're building these underground bunkers, because they knew we were coming.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is, if the one court is doing all of this, one court is running all of this, how many courts have we got in this country?
On page 52 of this, there's an actual chart. And it's set up like any other chart, with, on the top, and then breaks down to the other levels. The top of the chart is CRIS, again, C-R-I-S, administration. Below that, the next box is CRIS transfers accountability of funds back to courts. And it shows what they do if they resolve the problem, and if they don't resolve the problem. It's very self-explanatory. I can't even begin to explain it without confusing you, without you having it in front of you. There are actual graphs here. In the next page, standard withdrawals from CRIS. Below that, court requests transfer of accountability of funds from CRIS. The court knows damn well what they're doing is a racketeering enterprise bringing you through, and I did look up the definition of prostitution. It qualifies. They're prostituting us, and they're pimps. That's all they are. And the only state that I'm aware of that prostitution is legal is Nevada.